Good afternoon and welcome to Rebels Radio, live here from the Parkett Stadium in Potters Bar. You may be able to hear the home matchday PA announcer just going through their home teams. It's a lovely sunny day here in Potters Bar, and we are just waiting for the teams to come out onto this, let's say, slightly hard work pitch. They've done very well to get the game on here this afternoon. The pitch to the right of me is somewhat sandy, and there's a little bit of standing water towards the corner, but the referee got here nice and earlier, and we just had a good old look at it and determined that as both teams want to go ahead and play, he did. So let me just start with the teams. Firstly, the home team, Potters Bar. In goal, number 1, George Camassari. Number 2, Ashley Harrison Barker. Number 3, Matt Clifford. Number 4, Fabian Sims. Number 5, Jack Friend. Number 6, Lee Close. Number 7, Usama Hamdan. Number 8, Cole Penny. Number 9, Tomi Akinjirin. Number 10, Josh Hutchinson. And number 11, Evandro Delgado. And on the bench for the Scholars is number 12, Tom Laxton. Number 14, James Ewington. Number 15, Finbar Robbins. And number 16, Frankie Lane. And number 17, Mike Underwood. And now for the Rebels team. Number 1, Jake Somerville. Number 2, Sean Fraser. Number 3, Ryan Parsons. Number 4, Dave Woozley. Number 6, Lee Rumbold. Number 7, Johnnie Dyer. Number 8, Jamie McClurg. Number 9, Ed Smith. Number 10, Jake Parsons. And number 11, Warren Harris. And on the bench today for the Rebels, we have number 12, Guy Hollis. Number 14, George Short. Number 15, Darren Wheeler. Number 16, Adam Cornell. And number 17, Scott Harris. The referee is Mr. Rick Bloy, who's done very well, was very supportive in getting this game ahead with agreements of both teams. Slough will be shooting from left to right, and they are wearing their amber and blue kit today because the home kit, the Scholars, are wearing a maroon shirt, white shorts and white socks, and will be kicking right to left. Slough are playing towards the right-hand end of the pitch, which is probably the worst end of the pitch, with a fair degree of sand. Go onto Twitter at MyFC's Rebels Radio to have a look at a few of the photos we took earlier. But the groundsman's done excellent work. They had to call off the game here on Thursday against Watford. We were down here on Tuesday, Bakes and I, watching against Daventry, and it stood up well. We're just waiting. It's beautiful sunshine out here, so hopefully the pitch will dry out a little bit. And the referee's now just calling the players together, and hopefully we should get underway very shortly. Adam Fowler stepping forward for the Rebels, and Ashley Harrison Barker stepping forward for the Scholars. There's a number of Slough contingent just here. This is our first away days. We're outside in the elements, sitting alongside our fellow supporters, who have given us a very hospitable welcome, nice cups of tea and things like that, so that's very much appreciative. And there's a good turnout. And sorry, the other PA is just making out that obviously he got the tea and he was very, very generous, and he'll be listening back on YouTube later to hear that his mention. So yeah, there's a good degree of banter. A nice number of fans have turned out for this sunny day. The captains are just shaking hands, and we're just looking to see how this game goes underway. A little bit of recent form. Slough are looking for their 6th win on the bounce, whereas Potters Bar haven't won in 6. They've drawn 1. Lost 5, and they've only scored 1 goal. Slough we're staying as we are, so Slough will be playing towards the sun, and it looks like Johnnie Dyer and Ed Smith will be getting us underway shortly, kicking, as I say, left to right. Immediately opposite us, we can see kind of bank terrace flats and houses. To the left end, there is just some trees behind the goal, and to the right end, again, a small covered area, but there's a very nice thing as Mr. Rick Bloy just gets us underway, and immediately the ball's out to the left to Jake Parsons, who's playing alongside his brother Ryan. Pass it back to Ryan. Ryan drives the ball forward towards Ed Smith. Nice touch off towards Clergy, but gets picked up in midfield by Josh Hutchinson, who turns the ball. And now there's some very committed tackles going in there between Cole Penny and Ryan Parsons. The ball's out on the far side. The dugouts are quite well spaced out today, but Rumbold's got the ball in midfield. Looks for a long crossfield ball out to the right toward the near side towards us to Warren Harris, whose touch just lets him down. And the bobble of the pitch just takes it away from Fraser, who Fowler comes through and plays a long ball forward, and Johnnie Dyer's after it. Takes an air shot as the ball goes through just softly for a goal kick, which the goalkeeper, George Camassari, will take. Bit of a hectic start here, but hopefully you should be able to get some background noise today from the fans. Hopefully not too much in the way of swearing or anything like that, but this is our first away day for Slough and for Rebels Radio, so this will hopefully give any of you Rebels who've been forced to stay at home a little bit of an insight into what's going on. And towering header from Fowler initially up from that initial goal kick, and the ball's bubbling out to the left. where Jake Parsons passed it back to Ryan Parsons. An aerial approach down to the far right, where manager Jack Friend, who's playing centre-back in number 5, slices it somewhat, and it hits a yellow van on the far side, just outside the ground. I'm hoping you can all hit me, but please let me know. All the Rebels fans are in a small shed to the right, I would say, and they're all making their voices heard now early on, as the game just kind of waits to settle down a little bit. Ryan Parsons standing over a throw on the far side. Throws the ball in towards Ed Smith. Ed Smith in the far corner. Friend in close attention. Just knocks it off Friend and gets the throw in, which Ryan Parsons will once again take from the far side. Pass it into Ed Smith. Base space. Pass it into Jake Parsons. Jake Parsons cross too deep over the head of Warren Harris and safely out for a goal kick. But Slough started brightly here. Have a little bit of pressure on, and it'll be interesting to see how the Scholars come back from this and how they set up. It looks initially like they're playing one up. In a probably 4-5-1 situation and looking to just contain Slough, frustrate them and hit them on the break. As a cloud just comes over and bathes us into darkness, which allows me to actually see my screen for a moment. I'm hoping you can all hit me. I've got to say hello to Rachel, by the way. Your mum and dad said make sure I say hello. So Rachel, hope you're having a good time wherever you are and recovered from your hangover. And last night getting in at 2:30 or whatever time it was. And please let me know where you guys are listening all over the world. And send me photos of you in your Rebel shirts, if you are. As a long ball goes forward through to the Potter's Bar attack, which is dealt with by Fowler. And now Fraser's just hooking the ball clear, gets deflected, handball given there. And it will now be an opportunity, I think, for Somerville to come out and clear the ball. A bright start there, but Delgado was adjudged to have, in his closing down of Sean Fraser on the left-hand side. Just doing it. Hopefully you can get some of the background noise as Summers drives the ball forward into a bit of space, but well intercepted. And now Fraser up immediately in front of me, up against Delgado and his head. Fowler gets muscled off the ball there. And there's a free kick given. Not sure there was that much in it, but Sama Hamdan was showing his strength and just turned Fowler off the ball and was adjudged to have given it. But Fraser stood over the ball just inside the Slough half. Drives a crossfield ball towards Parsons. It goes under the defender's wide slit, and Jake Parsons is on the far side, edge of the box, just stepping inside again. Looks to get a shot away, gets blocked and cleared. Still bobbling around in the really bad muddy area of the pitch. McClurg on the edge of the box in the sandpit. Chips the ball in, headed away. Second ball comes out to Fraser. Fraser to Harris. Harris back to Fraser. Fraser towards the byline. Tries to get the crossing, crosses it deep. And the keeper claims it very simply, very well, in a very bright luminescent green jumper, and is now stepping forward to launch a massive kick, which Woos is underneath, and Woos deals with well. Back to Rumbold, and Rumbold now passes the ball out to Fowler, who lofts the ball out right, and it just drops into the left-back position for the Scholars, and now it's driven down into the left-hand corner, where Woos is in attention with Delgado, and it will be a Scholars throw in the far left-hand corner, just in line with the edge of the 18-yard box. So game still just to settle down at the moment. Both teams trying to feel each other out a little bit here. There's a ball on the edge of the box now. Down in the far corner. Rumbold in attention and just forces the mistake there from Fabian Sims, who's started very well. Big athletic fella. And now it'll be a throw on which Sean Fraser takes up the line towards us. Warren Harris makes something of it. Bobbling around in midfield still. Game not really settled down just yet. Long ball kick through to Woos, and Woos gives it some air, and it's just bobbled out again. Rumbold collects it in the middle of his own half and hits a long ball. Ball's not spending a lot of time on the grass at the moment. Rumbold wins a header. I think advantage played. Johnnie Dyer slots the ball through, and Ed Smith through on goal. Takes a heavy first touch, but he's through 1-on-1. Let's see how he does. The keeper commits early, and Ed Smith chips the ball past him, but unfortunately wide, and they bring the ball away. But that was a great chance for Ed Smith there, through 1-on-1. Needs to get his head up now, but that was an opportunity, I think, for Slough Town there. So we'll just have to see how things go. Slough fans find their voice. The ball's still just inside the edge of the box. Comes out towards Fowler, and there's good, strong battle there between Fowler and between Osama Hamdan. Fraser just in front of me with a throw ball at his feet, but that was a great chance there for Ed Smith, who got through 1-on-1, had a touch, but managed, as the keeper came out, spread himself well at his feet, just managed to hook the ball over him, but also sadly not got a lot on it and didn't direct it to goal, so one of the defenders was able to come and collect it. Rumbold picks it up, edge of the box, hooks it towards goal, but not with a lot of conviction. So the ball's just getting cleared out from the comes out to Fowler, midway inside the Scholars half. Touch through. It's messy and feisty in there, but Scholars might have an opportunity here to break away now with a ball. Toby Akinjerin with a ball passes up forward to Cole Penny. Cole Penny then to Toby Akinjerin, and they've broken free on the right with Delgado hitting the box, but a superb tackle, well timed by Fowler, who comes in, tries his hardest to keep the ball in, but that was a very, very, very well timed tackle there. And we've played 6.5 minutes here at the PACX Stadium, and it still remains Potters Bar 0, Slough Town 0. Fairly even. Ed Smith had one great chance when he was through clear one-on-one, but the keeper did well and pushed him wide. So ball in the far corner at the moment with Jamie McClurg under attention from Sims. A bit of a wild challenge there going in, and the ball's cleared long, and it just might need to be a bit of attention there. The referee's just kind of having a little look quickly. I think McClurg's having a word and uttering his frustrations towards the linesman's direction, and the referee's just gone to trying to calm things down, because Fabian Sims went in quite strong there, but too far away for us to tell whether it was malicious or dirty. But the referee didn't deem it a foul, and it's a Potters Bar throw inside the Slough half on the far side. Jamie McClurg just receiving some treatment at the moment from Kev. Quite cold here. And let's hope that everyone's enjoying this game. Where are you all listening from anyway? Please tell me what's going on, where you're listening from, and if you can hear me loud and clear, if there's anything else you want me to mention. There's a few other big games going on today, particularly up at the top. You've got Dunstable versus Barton, which I'm sure most Rebels fans will be keeping an eye on in their push for promotion. I think we'll probably be hoping for a draw in that game. McClurg's now finished his treatment, throw being taken on the far side, played back to Sims. Sims just got a bit of time, plays it back to Friend at centre back, number 5. Clears long ball forward. Fraser under pressure, and the shot comes in on the run from Delgado, which Fraser manages to deflect over the bar. So that was a decent chance there. The ball wasn't dealt with certainly by the Slough defence, and it will be the first corner of the game, and it will go to Potters Bar, and it's on the far left-hand side. Lots of noise coming from players trying to just find out what goes on at these corner routines. But Delgado stands over the ball, delivers an in-swinging ball, which Somerville claims very well in his bright blue outfit, and looks immediately to be setting the ball on his way. Big clearance, bounces. Ed Smith's after it, but ball bobbles free, and there's plenty of Potters Bar players around to play it through. Still no score here, still 0-0. Ball tried to play over Fraser, but he stretches, plays the ball to Harris, and Harris drives the ball on the line. I think it will go out for a Potters Bar throw almost immediately in front of us. Game still hasn't just settled down. The pitch isn't helping. It's not conducive to good football here. Sun's just gone in, so it's quite a fresh, cool afternoon. McClurg battling hard in midfield, and Potters Bar player does very well there. Unfortunately, let down by by Matt Clifford's left defence, but McClurg battling hard there in midfield. So interesting to see how this game settles down. We need a new ball at the moment. It would be interesting. Been a lot of tight games recently here at Potters Bar. They've lost obviously 1-0 to Daventry on Tuesday, and then recently the other high flyers of rugby, they only lost 1-0. They had a 70th minute penalty conceded, and that was the only goal of the game. So they can defend here. They do have a reasonable home record, but overall they sit 17th in division, and and they're looking to progress. I think, having moved in from Ryman North Division last year, finishing mid-table. The ball's just still bobbling around, no clear chances. Spending a bit more time in the Slough half now. Ball played through, but safely for Somerville to gather, and he'll look up quickly to see if there's an option to get it out. Warren Harris in front of us, screaming for the ball coming up early, going up to challenge against the left back. Warren Harris wins the ball in. McClurg coming through from midfield, passes the ball through the sandbit, and there's a bit of lack of understanding there, and it just rolls harmlessly out for a goal kick. So still an interesting game. We are 10 minutes in, still 0-0. One clear chance for Slough with Ed Smith going through one-on-one, but didn't manage to quite finish it. The keeper did well and just put him off. But Potters Bar had one chance well deflected over the bar by Sean Fraser, so it's quite an even game. The pitch isn't doing anyone really any favours, but I guess it's who adapts to it better. And these are sorts of games that you can't afford, if you're pushing for promotion, to lose and drop 3 points. So goal kick off the floor. Ryan Parsons picks it up on the left and starts to look at the right back. Takes it outside, still got the ball at his feet, looks inside, flicks it back to his brother. But good Good defending there by Toby Akinjerin, who comes and cuts the ball out, plays the ball forward towards Usama Hamdan, who him and Woos are having a great old battle up there, and it looked like he was manhandled slightly, but nothing doing from the referee, who seems to have started with a degree of leniency. Ed Smith picks up the ball in the very far corner. Tolerance there. He's passed the ball back to McClurg, who passes. Great save but it's finished, and it's driven in by Johnnie Dyer, who justifies his selection in the team. There was great tenacity there by Ed Smith on the far left-hand side, who the ball looked to the world to be going dead, but Ed Smith won it back. Great pass back to McClurg, who seems to find himself more and more in the box. Johnnie Dyer. Sorry, I was just confirming which person scored, but just to take you through that again. Yeah, Ed Smith running hard up the far side, kept the ball in. Kept the ball in and passed the ball back to Jamie McClurg. Good shot, great save from the keeper Camisari with his feet, but it just fell out to Johnnie Dyer, who took a moment and hit it into the top left-hand corner of the goal in the area. So Slough lead after 12 minutes. Johnnie Dyer justifying his starting place here, and he's already scored 3 against Potters Bar in the return fixture when Slough came from 3 goals down to win 4-3 at Holloways Park. And McClurg again putting them under pressure. He's got a lot of running in him. He must have had his Weetabix, and I'm sure that's exactly what the joint management team of Slough would have wanted, an early goal. So Sean Fraser on the right-hand side, 10 yards inside his own half, with the ball about to throw the ball in. Fowler barking instructions as ever, throws the ball through, no Slough player after it. Ball bounces back to Jake Parsons, and it's a very aerial ball which rumbles underneath, but Sims towering above him and beats the ball back. Potters Bar certainly aren't any mugs, and it's now Woos up against Delgado on the far side, and Woos just does enough, comes in and clears the ball out of play. So Slough were rewarded there for some great tenacity from Ed Smith, who really made that goal for the team, putting in a shift and getting after, not giving up on a ball that could have easily been given up on, and went back, did the work. Great unselfishness from passing the ball back to McClurg. But immediately Potters Bar are back on the attack. They drive a ball in across, and great header away on the edge of the box by Fowler. But they've got Slough penned back here at the moment. Friend on the far right back position just plays the ball in towards the left-hand channel. Ball rolls harmlessly out, and it's now a goal kick for Slough. So just to remind you, 13 minutes played. Slough Town have taken the lead, so it's Potters Bar 0, Slough Town 1. It was their second kind of clear chance, Ed Smith having been guilty of missing a one-on-one slightly earlier, but then there was a great chance, I think it was for Delgado, or it might have been Hamdan, who was well closed down by Fraser, and Fraser deflected it over the bar. Just starting to feel a little bit of a chill in the air here, as Somerville kicks the ball clear onto the left. Seemed to be a bit of shoving potentially going on there against Johnnie Dyer, but once again Warren Harris puts a shift in. McClurg in the centre spot looks to put a ball through to Ed Smith. Comes back to Rumbold on halfway, out to Fraser, who's driven in front of me. Ball in and around the sandy area. Players struggling to keep to their feet, and the ball is kicked out for a throw-in almost immediately in front of me. Just a moment to take breath and to pause. Fraser throws the ball into Johnnie Dyer, keeps it low. Johnnie Dyer struggles to keep the ball in, pass it back in, inside to Warren Harris, who's in the inside the box, pass it to Jake Parsons, and there was a chance there, but he clips it over the bar. Slough again showing that they can kind of cut them apart, but that was a great chance after 15 minutes for Ryan Parsons to double the Slough lead. Some nice football there and tenacity. Johnnie Dyer's reward for obviously falling over in the mud is now you can't read that he's number 7, so I hope he doesn't score again. But he's marked his territory, shall we say. Slough wearing their amber kit because the away kit of the purple would clash with the maroon home kit of Potters Bar. Goal kick taken. Jake Parsons underneath it, wins it, but Sims again, he seems to be ever present in midfield. Another towering header, but ball goes through to Woos, and Woos wins it. Battling around in midfield, McClurg again comes away with the ball. Into Johnnie Dyer, who's taken through the back on halfway, and there's a little bit of afters as McClurg wants to seem to try and take the quickly, and there's almost a moment where there's a hug with the ref for Delgado. I think it was a little bit unnecessary, really, but Mr. Bloy hasn't had a bad start, but he'd just like to have a word here with Close, the number 6 for Potters Bar, and just saying probably no more of that because it was a tackle from behind, but I think quite sensibly there's no caution there. Some referees may have reached for their pocket there, but I think the game so far that was the worst tackle so far, but I think worthy of just a chat and sensible refereeing there. Ryan Parsons stands over the ball inside the centre D, clips the ball through towards Powers and Woods, but it's dead straight and straight into the arms of the keeper, who steps towards the edge of his box and is looking to clear it well. Slough hurrying back, facing into the sun. Parsons underneath it, can't see, but the keeper's kick is wayward, straight out, over halfway, and it's a throw-in to Slough Town on the far side. Hello to Chris, who's listening in Cambridge, just tweeted me, and to all the other fellow Raiders. Chris has also been celebrating the back of the net, so we like that. Ball thrown in, held up by Ed Smith, who chips the ball out to the right, and Fraser, in acres of space, runs through the sandy area, looks to put in a cross, but cross gets deflected. Potters Bar may be able to come away with it. Jinked inside by Hutchinson, who passes it to Sims. Closing down, good work by Johnnie Dyer, who's going to look filthy by the end of the game. He's covered in mud. Rumbold in the middle of the park, just tries to buy himself a little bit of space, passes it back to Fowler inside his own half. Fowler under pressure, clips the ball forward towards Warren Harris, who's come back from an offside position. The referee blows his whistle, and it will be a free kick to Potters Bar. So 17 minutes gone here at the PAC-X, and it is Potters Bar 0, Slough Town 1. Quite an even game so far. Both teams adapting to the conditions quite well. The ball's down in the left channel, but Fraser's got acres and hours of time. Looks for a long ball through to Ed Smith, but not well directed, so well cleared. Rumbold picks it up inside his middle of his half, but it's broken to a Potters Bar player, who's Parsons comes back. Jake Parsons that is, comes back and launches the ball forward clear, and Friend intercepts aerial, and Johnnie Dyer's underneath it, and Sims. Ball comes through to Ryan Parsons, who clips the ball from the corner. Ed Smith's after it, but the keeper's come out. Passes a simple ball, well distributed, and Potters Bar are keeping the ball quite well just here at the back. Loss of control there though by Fabian Sims, and it's a throw-in on the far side in line with the Potters Bar home dugout, which Parsons takes, throws inside to Rumbold. Rumbold opens up, passes it to Warren Harris. Warren Harris stops it, passes it back to Clergy, who Clergy pass it back and out wide to Fraser. Fraser's getting through a lot of work in this first 20 minutes or so. Got a little bit of time. Pass it to Ed Smith. It's in the sunny area. Steps over. Just undid it. And I think the pitch did him. And in frustration, he almost like a toddler stamps his hands in the sand pit and seems to cause trouble. But Slough here with a throw. Far right hand side. Fraser with it. Not much movement. Clergy trying to make some noise for it, but throws it into the right corner by Warren Harris. Warren Harris under pressure. And the ball's bobbling around. Hits it harmlessly, so it should be cleared by Potters Bar. Rumbold, who seems to be everywhere as well, just picks it up. Pass it back to Fowler. Fowler drives the ball forward, and it goes through to Johnnie Dyer. Johnnie Dyer is given offside. I'm not sure whether it's him or Ed Smith, but certainly Slough adjudged to it. And Camarasai is not in any doubt. He's trying to hurry this along, raise the tempo up there for Potters Bar, and he's standing over this goal, this free kick, which he's driven out to the right hand side. Woos comes up, heads the ball clear. Friend returns it with interest, and now Fowler trying to shut down it, but the ball's bobbling in midfield, and McClure picks it up like a terrier. And now Warren Harris is free, just inside the other half. McClure pushing the ball through, and Matt Clifford, left back, is trying to battle with it. And McClurgy has forced a Slough throw in the far left-hand corner, which he's picked up early, taken to Warren Harris. Struggling to see a little bit what's going on there. My view's blocked, and tries to drive across on the floor and thrown out to the right. But Ryan Parsons comes out, wins the ball. Friend underneath it. Johnnie Dyer's loving it. He's diving around in the mud, but the ball's clipped, long ball to the left, over the top of Fraser, and Delgado picks it up. Delgado now up against Fraser, far left-hand corner. A couple of step-overs from Delgado. Passes it back to Hutchinson. Hutchinson, edge of the box. Goes out to Sims. Sims passes the ball through to the right. Not going forward now. Sims passes it back to the right back, who's bombing on. That's Harrison Barker. Still got the ball at his feet, up against Ryan Parsons. Drives a low cross across, and Fowler goes challenging in against Hamden, but it's one there. And Somerville quickly clears the ball out to Harris. Touch let him down again. He hasn't started the best today, and just goes through harmlessly to Somerville. So Somerville's now in the left-hand end as we see it. Slough playing left to right. The score is 1-0 to Slough. 20 minutes played. Johnnie Dyer scoring after about 12 minutes, after some great work by Ed Smith. And Slough haven't really pressed for an opportunity after that, but Clergy wins it well in midfield. Ball slotted through to Ed Smith, and that looked like a very tight decision there. I'm not sure that would agree, because it looked like Close was very close to playing him onside, but free kick taken early and out to Harrison Barker. Harrison Barker, far right and back position, chips it forward towards to Hamdan. But Sean Fraser comes through, and Sean battles and battles and battles, and then Sims commits a foul, and a free kick's given, and which I think Somerville will come up and take. So we've played almost 22 minutes now, almost halfway through the first half, and I think the Slough management team will be quite happy that they're taking a 1-0 lead. Short free kick taken short, but the referee's not happy. Rick Bloy's not happy with exactly the placement, because he took it short to McClurg, and everyone seemed to be happy with it, but Mr. Bloy, who for some reason didn't like. So Summers is up towards the halfway line. Rumbold and Harris shouting on the right, but it's driven left towards Johnnie Dyer. Johnnie Dyer up against Ashton Barker, and Ryan Parsons comes in well, wins the ball. Breaks to Harris on the edge of the box, but the referee's given a free kick because Jake Parsons left his feet, and it's a free kick to Potters Bar, bang on the edge of the box. So we'll just have to see how this goes. But so far, that was a good opportunity and good movement. So Potters Bar have caught the Slough attackers offside a good few times in this initial piece. So we'll see how that goes, and see where this match is heading. But Rumbold once again up against Sims, wins in midfield. Ball play through again. Woos in close attention of Hamdan. Sorry. Ball goes out, and Johnnie Dyer's on the far side under a little bit of pressure, passes it back towards Ryan Parsons, and Ryan Parsons clips the ball up the line towards Ed Smith, who's just using his body up against Friend. And Johnnie Dyer's putting himself about everywhere, really putting some effort in, trying to justify his place. And Slough seemed to be hunting in packs. And after the ball went there, it just looked like McClurg was clipped. And there seems to be a little bit going on. And the referee just needs to kind of get control slightly. Fowler's immediately after Rick Bloy and said, "Did you see that? It looked like McClurg was kicked off the ball." And so there's a lot of players involved here, and he's calling a couple of players towards him. I'm interested to see who this is and what he's got to say, because just over the last couple of minutes there've been a few fiery challenges going in, and he's just having a word with McClurg, and a little bit of uncertainty. McClurg showing where he seemed to get kicked by Close after the ball. As he went through the challenge, he left his leg in a little bit and just clipped McClurg. He wasn't very happy with that, and just letting the referee know. And there's a free kick now for Potters Bar, couple of yards into the Slough half. Baker out wide, arms wide apart, just trying to understand what exactly is going on at the moment, while Friend stands over the free kick. Johnnie Dyer still asking the question alongside McClurg of exactly what's going on and why there's no free kick. Not too happy at the moment, and Baker's still remonstrating, asking the questions as to how he's let that go. But there'll be the opportunity here for Harrison Barker to put the ball in the box for Potters Bar. First real set piece except for the corner. Passes out wide to the right, and immediately Jake Parsons in attention. Woos clears it long to Ed Smith. They've left it 1-on-1. Ed Smith out to the right to Rumbold. Rumbold advancing just towards the halfway line. And that's Ed Smith. Ed Smith who came from behind. Ed Smith now through 1-on-1. 2-0. Ed Smith fires the ball to the left-hand side, and that is 2-0 to Slough Town. That is the second goal, and Ed Smith made no mistake this time with his 1-on-1 selection. He seemed to come from behind the rest of the players. There seemed to be other players from Slough potentially standing in an offside position, but he came from behind. It looked like Jake Parsons may have been stood in an offside position, so the referees, fouls are having a word with it, but it's a good solid start. So 25 minutes gone, Potters Bar 0, Slough 2. Ed Smith just made no mistake for that as he was put through, made a run from deep, and now the score is Slough 2, Potters Bar 0, and Potters Bar now kicking off back to the left back position, and Close clears it long. Clifford clears it long. All picked up in the midfield by Hutchinson. Fowler comes through and heads it back up. Simmons picks it up in midfield with Clerg in attendance. Warren Harris puts the ball through. The ball's bobbling around in the Slough area, but it pops through to Somerville, who calm that down. So there was a good ball there played through. I think it was possibly by McClurg, as just inside, in line with us, there was Ed Smith running from deep. Potters Bar once again playing a very high line, and Ed Smith got the bounce of the ball, run through, and fired the ball into the left-hand the left hand as we look at it, top corner, and now Slough have been awarded a free kick just outside the sandpit to my right, which I think Warren Harris and Jamie McClurg just stood over, but we have played 26 minutes here, and Slough are leading 2-0. If any of you got any feedback, please contact me on @MyFC's Rebels Radio or in the matchday chat at MyFC, or similarly, if you're on the Slough forum, by all means put some comments in and let us know how we're getting on and what you're thinking of this game. Jake Parsons come over to in front of us to take an out-swinging free kick, so 10 yards outside the box, running up to deliver the ball in. Deep, gets a flick and out for a corner. Slough's first corner, under no pressure whatsoever. Didn't really get a shout there very well. The number 6 there, Lee Close, and headed it out unnecessarily for a corner. So he flicked the ball out, and Warren Harris is now making his way over to the far corner flag, the one that isn't underwater down the far end, and will try to hit an in-swinger in now to see if we can create another Slough chance. So Warren Harris, far side, staying over the ball. Clerg just down on the edge of the box, just doing his shoelace up, as delivers the ball in. It's a low one. Back to Woos. Woos has the ball. Passes it back out to Harris, who has open legs. Clips the ball in towards the far post, but a great tip away by Commissari, and then it fell, I believe, to Ed Smith at the far post, but he just had a touch, and so it's now gone out for a goal kick. I think the goal kick's the right decision. I think it got a flick off Ed Smith at the far post after the keeper touched it. So the Slough fans aren't very happy with that, but I don't see any issue with that. I think it was a goal kick, and Ed Smith just had his legs quite wide apart there, so hopefully he hasn't hurt himself. But we've got a goal kick now to Potter's Bar. Clears the ball long. Rumbold once again towers up. Harris flicks the ball on towards Johnnie Dyer. Johnnie Dyer touches it towards McClurg, who flicks it on towards Smith, but the ball's now cleared from the sandpit area by the left back Clifford, and it's now Fraser with a throw in down in the right hand corner. The Rebels are certainly enjoying their day in the sun so far in Potter's Bar, with Fraser stood over the ball with his throw. Throws it long towards Warren Harris. Ball gets blocked off, but drops to Ed Smith in the box. Drives the ball and hits the bar. I think that was saved there. I think it was flicked onto the ball by Commissar. But the Rebels are really putting the Scholars under a little bit of pressure here, and they should try and make this count. I think it's important in this half to try and get an advantage, because if a moment in the game changes, but it could prove costly. But Warren Harris there, going across to take the corner, but Ed Smith won the ball at the feet in his box and turned sharply, drove a ball with extreme pace, only from 7 or 8 yards out, and the keeper did well to tip it onto the bar, and now it's a corner to Slough on the far side. Looking into the sun, Harris signals his kick, drives it forward. Johnnie Dyer's underneath it, but takes an air shot out edge of the box to Jake Parsons. Jake Parsons lines it up, well blocked by Close, and the ball bobbles out, and I think he'll leave it to throw into Slough, which Jake Parsons has in his hands, and we'll just see if he's doing it quick or if he's going to leave it for Fraser. No, leaves the ball for Fraser, as Fraser clumps up, and Fowler and Woos make their way back. Ed Smith looking interested here, picks up the ball edge of the box, back to goal. Passes the ball out to McClurg, 10 yards outside. Got a little bit of time here. Tries to dink a ball through to Warren Harris, but I think he's probably got too much on it. And Clifford shields it out for a goal kick. And there's water as they kick the ball there, so I think that could be a little bit of a puddly area. So we'll have to see how we're going on. Okay, so we have played almost half an hour here, and it is Potter's Bar 0, Slough Town 2, with Johnnie Dyer opening the scoring after some great work by Ed Smith, and then Ed Smith doubling the lead after approximately 27 minutes. And Slough having a couple of chances after that, with Ed Smith just hitting the bar. So we'll have to keep an eye on this. But Slough are again attacking, with the Parsons brothers combining well on the far left. Ball comes inside to Rumbold, who's 10 yards inside the half. Now Fraser on the halfway, inside the D, chips the ball forward towards McClurg, who's made a run. Keeper comes to the penalty spot, picks it up well, and will now look to roll it out to captain Harrison Barker on the right back position, who drives the ball up the line, and Hamdan's after it up against Woos. Overhead kick, a bit unnecessary from Rumbold, and the ball comes back through. Bobbles it. Smith picks up the ball on the halfway, but good tackle there. Be given some attention there. I think it's by Close, and the ball game's fairly even just now, but Slough, I'm sure, will be very happy in half an hour in, 2 goals up. Fraser taking a throw for Slough on the halfway line, up towards Johnnie Dyer, who gets out jumped. Ball breaking around in midfield, but McClure picks it up forward to Smith. Smith out to Parsons, and Parsons just pops the ball through towards Warren Harris, but keeper comes out, collects it well. Slough looking to play some good football, and again, ball comes out from the keeper. Fraser's got it on the right with Johnnie Dyer absolutely filthy in front of me, covered in mud on his back, clips the long ball through, but that's not going anywhere apart from to Kamasare, who's picked up the ball. Just need to regroup here, I think, Slough, and just concentrate on the quality. So ball now on the left, and now we have both Parsons up against Toby Akinjiran, and Akinjiran gives away the free kick, a little bit soft on Ryan Parsons, and so it will be a free kick to Slough in front of their dugout on the left-hand side. And we have played 32 minutes. Potters Bar 0, Slough Town 2. And Smith with a second. Smith has had 2 chances today, 2 real clear-cut chances, one of which he scored, the other in which he's hit the bar. He's also had a 1-on-1, so he could have potentially had a hat-trick already by now, only half an hour in. Referee signals that we can get underway again, and Parsons drives the ball forward towards Fowler, bobbling around on the edge of the box, and Smith puts it out. McClurg facing away from goal, clips it back to Rumbold. Rumbold, a low ball to Warren Harris. Warren Harris in the right back position to Clergy. Clergy drives the ball low cross. Johnnie Dyer on the end of it, but well defended by Friend, who knocks it out for a corner to Slough on the near side. This will be interesting, and the Slough fans make a little bit of noise now, as Warren Harris is going to have to take the first corner from the real wet patch, and we'll see how this delivers in. So Slough will be very happy. Fowler just giving his instructions on what type of corner he'd like and where he wants the balls delivered. Parsons stood edge of the box. Woos making his way towards the far post. Fowler spins away. Players moving in and out. Low cross, but unfortunately poor corner. I think it may be something to do with the conditions down there, and it just goes harmlessly into the near post side netting, and there will be a goal kick to Potters Bar and give them the opportunity to clear. Friend trying to gee the troops up, making a little bit of noise. Sims in midfield as well, trying to instigate some sort of urgency and tempo there. Seems to be just communicating. The ball cleared. Woos after the ball, but bounces through to Fowler, who plays it out to left back Ryan Parsons. Parsons up to Jake Parsons on halfway, left hand side, cuts inside, looks for a crossfield ball to Warren Harris. Brilliant ball. Unfortunately, ball just beats Warren Harris, who loses his footing unluckily in the conditions as he was going into the penalty box, and he slides, tries to cross the ball, but it goes harmlessly behind for a goal kick. So good use of the ball again there by Parsons on the left of midfield. Just to take you through the teams again, Slough have got Somerville in goal, Fraser number 2 right back, Ryan Parsons left back, number 4 Dave Woozley, and 5 Adam Fowler, who's captain in the centre back partnership. Lee Rumbold and Jamie McClurg in the centre of midfield, 6 and 8. Johnnie Dyer and Ed Smith 7 and 9 up front. Jake Parsons left midfield, number 10, and Warren Harris number 11 right midfield. As the sun just comes out here at Packex, and on the bench for Slough, many Rebels fans might be happy to hear that at the moment Guy Hollis is named on the bench for the first time alongside George Short, Darren Wheeler, Adam Cornell and Scott Harris. Ben Ed seems to have had a bit of a setback with his poor back and wasn't in the matchday squad today, so have to monitor that closely, but I think needs some treatment and needs to go and get some further work done on that. As Parsons on the far side throws into Rumbold on the edge of the 18-yard box, gets it back from other Parsons, and Jake Parsons screaming for a handball as Rumbold's after him. Long ball played through, and Somerville easily collects on the edge of the box and looks to possibly pass it to Fraser early, but Fraser's not interested in it. Parsons still asking about whether that was a handball or not on the far left-hand side, but no joy from Rick Bloy there, the referee. Smith and Close battling up there in midfield for the ball. As Delgado in centre midfielder puts in a nasty little challenge, a little bit of a late challenge. That was a bit mean, that was a bit nasty. He might get booked for that. He might certainly have a word with him, but it was a little bit unnecessary. Definitely a striker's challenge. Just clipped the back of McClurg's heel. So almost on the centre circle, and this is going to be the first booking of the game. So Delgado just going to be the first person to go into Rick Bloy's book here after 35 minutes of the first half for just a slightly late challenge on McClurg. McClurg hobbling slightly, and Somerville almost on halfway, ready to take the free kick. And there seems to be some uncertainty there between the Potters Bar bench and one of their players. There seems to be a fair amount of shouting and screaming there about who's supposed to be playing where. So Somerville stood over the ball, but there seemed to be a bit of outcry there as to who's playing where and do your job and things like that. So we'll have to see how this is going on. So we've played 35 minutes of the first half here, and it remains Slough Town 2 goals to the good here against Potters Bar. Referee's just now having a word with Toby Akinjirin, who doesn't seem to agree necessarily with all the decisions today, but it's only a word and steps away. I think Akinjirin's still probably not completely content as Somerville drives the ball towards Fowler, but it's got far too much on it, flicks harmlessly off Fowler's head, and it will be a goal kick to Potters Bar. The Potters Bar team is number 1 George Commissari in goal, number 2 and captain Harrison Barker, number 3 left back Clifford, number 4 Sims in the centre of midfield, number 5 who's managing as well Jack Friend, number 6 centre back partner Lee Close, number 7 Osama Handan, who seems to be playing up top by himself, number 8 Cole Penny, number 9 Toby Akinjirin, number 10 Josh Hutchinson, and number 11 Evandro Delgado. Ball on the far side, just free kick gets one, but there's a long ball now through from the back from Close, and Fowler gets a volley on it and clears it ball. But Parsons, who's now out on the right for a little bit, it looks like they've had a swap. So Harris and Parsons have had a swap. Jake Parsons is now out playing right wing. Ed Smith closing down Close, keeps his foot out well, but Ryan Parsons now on left back. Passes the ball to Parsons, who flicks the ball just to Fraser on halfway. Short ball to Jake Parsons. Jake Parsons clips the ball through towards Johnnie Dyer. Closest comes across and defends well and concedes the throw in, which Slough are now putting a little bit of pressure on. We've now got 7.5 minutes left of the first half. Ball comes in quickly, and Parsons, edge of the box, flicks the ball through to Fraser, crosses it deep, far post. Great header by Ashley Barker. And the ball's bobbling around on the edge of the box, and it's a clumsy foul on the edge of the box by Hamdan, and who gives a free kick away in ideal position for Slough, really. It's probably 6 or 7 yards outside of the Potters Bar box, just to the slight left, and there seems to be a bit of an argument over who's taken it. McClurg's placed it, Smith's over it, Harris is interested, Dyer's interested, and the referee, Rick Bloy, is just going to measure out the 10 yards. It looks like the two favourites between possibly Warren Harris or Ed Smith, but they're just trying to talk their way out of it. It'll be interesting to be a fly on the wall now, see who's going to win the battle of the egos to take this free kick. But Warren Harris certainly looks like he might have it. Ed just saying, I'm a striker, let me have it. Further discussions had. The wall's now back at 10 yards. McClurg's in the middle of the wall. Ed Smith stands up and stands one up, and the only things he's threatening there are the Slough fans behind the goal as he kind of chips it long and harmlessly over the bar. So we now have played 39 minutes here at the Parkex, and it is Potters Bar 0, Slough Town 2, and they're just trying to G it up a little bit more so they don't concede, I think, before half-time. Slough. There's plenty of noise from Jake Parsons, who's now out on this right in front of me. Big old ball up. Fowler comes over too and wins it superb. And Sims, who seems to have been everywhere, battling for Potters Bar, one of Potters Bar's brightest players, I think, in this first half, just does the dirty things and kind of messes up the Slough play. And it's now a throw in to Fraser just in front of me. Throws up the line to Johnnie Dyer. Johnnie Dyer gives it back to Fraser. Fraser chips on towards the corner. Close there, and Close clears the ball, but Rumbold underneath it. Cuts inside. Has a little touch. It's all very tight in there. And Jake Parsons loses out to Sims. Sims attacking, puts the ball through, but unluckily it hits another Potters Bar player, and it's Parsons from left back position in Acres on the far side. A low ball to Warren Harris, who's now operating down the left flank. Back to Parsons. Parsons drives the ball inside, but only finds Sim, who's again looking forward with the ball. Clips the ball out towards the left. But Fraser's underneath it, heads it back in the centre towards Rumbold, and Rumbold clips the ball forward, but Ed Smith, he looked certainly to be a 2 or 3 yards offside there, but the linesman kept his flag down. So there's certainly a little bit of disbelief from some Potters Bar fans, and I could quite understand, because if that was the other way around, I could do that. As Fowler shows why he's not an attacking player and just runs the ball straight out in front of me for a throw when he couldn't quite control the ball. Ball thrown in. And McClurg closing down tight. Hunting impacts here. Slough work rate very, very good, but good control by Close, who finds Harrison Barker on the right. Harrison Barker breezes past Harris and passes the ball, and that's a cynical foul, I think, there by Rumbold. And I'm not sure whether he'll have a word here or he just took him down, but it's 10 or 15 yards outside the Slough box on the right hand side as they are, and Harrison Barker just feeling that challenge slightly. He's limping back to halfway. As Clifford goes forward from left back with his left foot, looks to be going forward to kind of perhaps in-swing this ball with all of the attacking and defending players lined up on the edge of the box. We've played 40 minutes here at the Packex. It remains Potters Bar 0, Slough Town 2, but Potters Bar have got a free kick in a dangerous area. Ball clipped down the line, and the ball's bobbling around in the Slough and headed off the line by Parsons. And Potters Bar are incensed, and I'm not sure what they're incensed by, but there seems to be a lot of shouting and screaming about players. Oh, was it a handball? Oh, they're shouting and screaming for a handball. Do we think it was a handball, gents? The Potters Bar fans and PAs around me think it was a handball. Was it deliberate? Was it deliberate? Was it ball to hand? Do we think? I got getting a bit of a shug. If it had been down there, he'd have given it. Okay, if it had been down the other end, he'd have given it. So the ball's broken clear, and Jake Parsons puts the ball through towards the left, and the linesman this time does have his flag up, and Warren Harris is stopped in his tracks on the far side. So there was a free kick there that was put through. It was played down the right towards the Josh Hutchinson, who cut the ball back deep into the far post, and Sims was underneath it, headed it back across, and then there was a little bit of tussle in the box, and it looked like it may have struck one of the defenders' hands, but nothing doing from the referee, Rick Bloy, who was unsighted. But there was certainly some displeasure shown by the Potters Bar players, who were immediately shouting. So we'll have to see what the opinion is after the game from there, Mr. Bloy, because it seems a little bit seems as if Potters Bar feel that some of the decisions are a bit one way in this first half, which you could have judged them to for that first goal. But Harris picking up the ball, passes it through, doesn't quite put enough on it to beat it through to Ed Smith, but referees there playing advantage. His friend attacks forward, passes the ball out left to Delgado. Delgado up against Fraser, plays it inside back to Friend, who's carried on his run. Put in behind, but Fowler comes in, plays the ball upfield to Rumbold. Rumbold out to right side to Jake Parsons. Jake Parsons clips the ball through towards Warren Harris, but great header back there from close. Good defending there because he was under a little bit of pressure from Harris, and a huge throw out immediately from Camisari, who unfortunately then Cole Penny gets beaten off the ball there by Rumbold in midfield, and Johnnie Dyer looking to return the ball back to Rumbold, but doesn't pay off. Ryan Parsons on the far side, midway inside the Potters Bar half. Bowl back to Woos, who's under pressure there and concedes and who wins the throw in, immediately in line with the home dugout, which Parsons will now take. Slough just need to consolidate here. 43 minutes gone. Potters Bar 0, Slough Town 2. There seems to have been something going off on the ball, because Ed Smith is in a crumpled heap just on the edge of the box, ball nowhere near, and not quite sure exactly what's going on here and what he said. But McClure's come in with his hands up, and Close is doing that, and McClure's just done some sort of aerial kung fu kick trying to intimate that Mr. Bloy that something's happened off the ball. But I'm not quite sure what's going on, really. But Ed Smith's just in a crumbled heap. He's not in a happy place, but the trainer, physio Kev, just comes on. The referees stood over Ed Smith, just crumpled in a heap on the edge of the far right-hand box. Play stopped at the moment, and we're just waiting to see what happens here. I'm sure one of the assistants may have spotted something if something did happen. There doesn't seem to be a lot more going on, but there seems to be a little bit of chat going on off the ball here. Seems to be a bit of tension. There seems to be a little bit of aggravation. There's certainly some competitiveness out there. Let's just hope it doesn't boil over, because it's been so far a good game of football by Slough's accounts, and there's some opinions coming from fans that may not be the politest. So I'm sorry if you get any of those. There's a little bit of swearing going on around me, but it's not from my doing. Please contact us. Let us know. As Ed Smith's up now and hobbling off towards the far side, the ball's off for a goal kick for Potters Bar, and we are almost at 45 minutes played now. There's been a little bit of injury time, so we're just Slough 1 minute of injury time. It looks like Mr. Bloy just signalled, so we've got a minute left until they all get a half-time orange or a cup of tea or a bit of rub-down. Woos comes a long way, wins the ball on midfield, but picked up there well by Akinjirin, who's danced around in the middle of midfield, doing lots of step-overs but not getting very far. Takes the ball back in a 1-2. Hutchinson cuts inside. Just Rumbold's adjust to a free kick. Sims quickly out to right to Harrison Barker. A bit of tempo here, a bit of desire now shown by Potters Bar. As the ball comes out to Penny. Penny inside to Hutchinson. Left-footed cross towards deep. Somerville comes and claims the ball well, and he's done very well this first half. Cleared the ball long, early. It's 2-on-2 at the back. Ed Smith now back on the pitch, picks the ball up, plays it simply back towards Ryan Parsons, who's on halfway line. Clips the ball up towards Clergy, but Close comes well through the back and has the ball now and just clears a long ball, and it's over the top of Woos. Woos in retreat after it and just clips it out for a throw in under pressure from Hamden. And Pottersborough really increased the tempo and desire all of a sudden. It would shame for them they didn't start like this. But there's just a throw onto Pottersborough far side, throws it back to Harrison Barker, who's in acres of space on the right, lines up Parsons, crosses it, Parsons gets a foot in, as does Woos, and it's now the referee blows up for half-time. So half-time here at PAC-X, it is Slough Town leading 2-0, and I will say goodbye. I'm going to go and get a cup of tea and go to the toilet, and I wish you all well. Welcome back now to the second half here at the PACX, where the half-time score is Potters Bar 0, Slough Town 2, with Johnnie Dyer and Ed Smith scoring in the first half. Ed Smith also hit the bar, had another one-on-one that he failed to convert, and also ended up crumpled in a heap. But he seems to be recovered. He's come out for the second half. Slough in their amber and blue are in the right-hand half as I look at it. I'm just getting waved at by Fowler, and all the oh hello. There's some rude gestures coming on. Glad this game isn't being videoed. We're reciprocating, so there seems to be some smiles on the faces of the boys out there. They've obviously had their words come out quite early. Potters Bar are yet to join us, but let me just take you through some of the half times for those of you who may not be on Twitter. In the Cala League Southern Division 1, we have Daventry 2, AFC Hayes 0, Marlow 2, Aylesbury United 0, Royston 1, Ashford 0. We also have in the big game, Dunstable 0, Barton Rovers 0, Beaconsfield 0, Chertsey 0, Chalfont 0, Aylesbury 1, and I think that's probably all of them. Oh, sorry, Uxbridge 0, Rugby 0, St Ives 0, Northwood 2. So there's been a fair few other games there. Rugby being 0-0 would obviously greatly help out the rest of the chasing pack catch up a little bit, and so we're interesting games out there. Still waiting for the Potters Bar. I can just see them all jogging out now to my right. The conditions still remain cold. It's now gone cloudy overhead, so I can see the laptop quite clearly. Thank you for those of you who've tweeted me in, and the tweet is at MyFC Rebels Radio. Please tell me where you're listening. Rebel Ramble, thank you very much for your feedback. Invaluable to your worldwide rebels. Where are you? Just let us know. And please just kind of say hello, see what you're doing. If you want to contact me through the forum, please do through the Slough forum, or alternatively on the matchday chat. It all seems a little bit quiet in there. Not quite sure how you're getting on. The shaven-headed referee, Rick Bloy's coming out. He took a few decisions that he had to make in the first half. He booked two players from Potters Bar, and as yet I don't think any of the Slough players. Neither teams to appear to have made any changes as yet. So just to go through those teams again, we have in goal, number 1, George Camerasai for Potters Bar. Number 2, Ashley Harrison Barker. Number 3, Matt Clifford. Number 4, Fabian Sims. Number 5, the manager, Jack Friend. Number 6, Lee Close. 7, Usama Hamdan. 8, Cole Penny. 9, Toby Akinjirin. 10, Josh Hutchinson. 11, Evando Delgado. And for Slough, we have number 1, Jake Somerville in goal. Number 2, Sean Fraser. 3, Ryan Parsons. 4, Dave Woozley. 5, and captain Adam Fowler. 6, Lee Rumbold. 7, Johnnie Dyer, got a goal already. 8, Jamie McClurg. 9, Ed Smith, already got a goal. 10, Jake Parsons. And 11, Warren Harris. The referee is taking the unusual step of just calling the skippers together at half-time. And on the far side, just having a little word with Fowler. He's got his arms behind his back, and they're just taking in the words. Ashley Harrison Barker's also there, having a little listen. And for some reason, Toby Akinjirin's over there getting involved. I'm not quite sure what that's all about. But just seems to be having a little word, trying to calm things down and make sure that this game remains sensible. Fowler's still having a little word as they come around. But the unusual step there by Rick Bloy of having a little word at half-time. The travelling Rebels contingent are now strung out thin against the fence to my left as Slough attack right to left with the Suns at their back. And we're waiting for Potters Bar to get us underway with Penny just passing the ball across now to Toby Akinjirin, and the ball's going out to the left-back Clifford, who tries to clear but shut down well by Warren Harris, who started this half on the right but can't just beat the ball out of the ground, and it's a throw into Clifford on the far side. Clifford throws it long. Sun at Rebels back here. Rebels 2, 2-0 up, and a flying challenge from Johnnie Dyer. Looking at it, right in front of me, Parsons having a bit of a battle there. And you can hear the ball bounce off the top there as Summer Hamdan and Parsons had a real battle there just to see what's happening. So he played about a minute of the second half. And the ball's down in the right-hand corner, and both Parsons are now playing out here on the left in front of me. So there was a big shout for Potters Bar just before half-time for a handball. Speaking to a few people at half-time, it sounded like the ball did hit hand, but there wasn't obviously seen as deliberate in the referee or the assistant referee's eyes. And just now, Potters Bar down in front of me, the captain tries to pass the ball through, but the ball's bobbling around. Rumbold picks the ball up in midfield, lofts an aerial ball for Ed Smith to get after, but Friend comes across well and clears well with his left foot out, but Fraser gets to the ball first. 10 yards inside the Potters Bar half, cuts back, simple ball inside to McClurg. McClurg passes the ball back out to Fraser. Fraser clips the ball forward. Great touch by Johnnie Dyer towards Ed Smith, right-hand edge of the box. Ed Smith surrounded by Clifford. Ed Smith still on the ball, coming away from goal slightly. Tries to pass the ball through to Warren Harris, who's tight against the dial-line. It threatened inattention. Crosses the ball over. Great flick there by the goalkeeper to just take it off the on-rushing Johnnie Dyer's head. And it was very, very solid there as Slough pushed to get a third. But it's gone all the way out. Far side now, a defending throw into Harrison Barker to try and clear the ball as he throws it inside to Friend. Gets it back, but Friend's now got it. Closed down by Johnnie Dyer, who blocks the ball a little bit, and the ball bounces up, hits close, and there's many shouts that the ball bounced up, and all the Slough fans are around the players now. It's not the most becoming, but they are very. There was a huge player reaction to that. As the ball bounced up, it looked to clip close in the hand, and Jake Parsons is adamant that it is. And now Jake Parsons, I think, has talked himself into the book. Jake has talked himself into the book as Rick Bloy comes back across, pulls Jake Parsons across, and I think he's protested just a little bit too much as the ball bobbled up there into the box, and it seemed to hit close either on the stomach or chest as it kind of bounced away. But the Slough players all around, a lot closer than I am, are absolutely certain that it was a penalty kick, but no penalty, no dish there, and the only result from that is a booking for Jake Parsons. So I'm not sure that was his wisest move, but I don't think he was going to change the referee's decision. But there's plenty interesting parties. The managers are out screaming and shouting, and we will now see what comes from this. So Parsons throws the ball short to Johnnie Dyer, far right hand side edge of the box, clips the ball to a far post. Harris heads it back across towards Smith, but headed away by Friend. Harris then, with Clifford in close attention, tries to keep the ball in, but it's a corner kick to Slough. First of the second half. We've played 3 minutes now of the second half. It's Potters Bar 0, Slough Town 2, and there's a corner on the far right hand side to be taken by Warren Harris. Fowler and Woos go up from the back. Jake Parsons already making runs around, plenty of movement in the box. Harris drives the ball, clips it towards the far post. Headed back in by Fowler, but then headed clear by Sims. And now Parsons, under a lot of pressure, facing towards his own goal, passes it back towards McClurg, but underhits it. Well won in there by Toby Akinjirin, but now Clergy back on the ball. Clips the ball out far right towards Warren Harris, who's great first touch, takes down. Clifford up ahead of him, just stands the ball up. Delivers a low ball in, which Close does well to defend against. And now Potters Bar have the chance to attack. As they're coming out, Sims once again on the ball. Seems to have run the ball straight out under a little bit of pressure from Rumbold. Probably one of the first poor things he's done this game, because he had a very good first half, which seemed to be everywhere. One of the Potters Bar's best players. And now the referee's over to have a little word, I think, with the Slough management team. He's just going to go and speak to his assistant on the far side. I think the assistant's been having a little bit of his ear bent by the joint managers of Slough, and it'd be interesting to see what he's saying. Mr. Rick Bloy's now just going to go and talk to the bench. He's talking to Neil Baker, who's remonstrating, kind of prodding and poking. John Underwood's now gone over there as well, and he's just saying, no more. Please keep your opinions to yourself. Don't tell us how to do the game. But there still seems to be a fair amount of remonstrating. But Rick Bloy is just trying to explain his point of view and things like that. I'm not sure either side's particularly happy with the outcome, but Rick Bloy comes away from it, and they're still having a word. So the result is that it's a Slough throw, 5 yards inside the Potters Bar half, thrown inside to McClurg from Fraser. McClurg, ball at his feet, tries to chip a ball through to Warren Harris. Ball gets deflected though, and now Sims again, ball at his feet. Left-footed ball forward as he slips. Fowler, man at his back, gets poked by Hamdan. Hamdan doing well. It's a good battle up there, and Fowler just wins at that ball. And Ed Smith clips the ball through. Clips the ball through to the far right, and Clifford, under pressure from Harris, clips the ball and wins the throw. So Clifford did very well there, clipped the ball off Harris and won the throw, which is taken quickly. Hutchinson now opening his body up, but under a lot of pressure from Johnnie Dyer. Kicks it back and close, an aerial long ball, which Fowler's underneath. No mistaking, volleys the ball forward, which Friend then heads quite clear. Ball bobbling around in midfield now, so it still remains. We're 5 minutes into the second half. Slough Town are leading 2-0 as the ball's in the far left-hand side with Hamdan on it, but a cross charge down, and Rumbold passes out to left towards the sandpit, and Ryan Parsons immediately in front of me. Pass it forward to Jake. Jake Parsons now gives it back to Ryan Parsons, who's advancing on the left over the halfway line. Hutchins in attendance, passes it back to Jake Parsons. A little bit of time on the ball. Simple 5-yard ball inside to McClurg. To Rumbold. Rumbold picks the ball to Johnnie Dyer. Johnnie Dyer's control lets him down, but Hutchinson, looking cultured, passes a good ball out to the left. And Potters Bar are now attacking. There's 3 players up front now, and Woo's in close attention. But unfortunately, he's got to watch himself there a little bit because there was just a little clumsy challenge there by Toby Akinjirin midway inside the Slough half, and so there's a free kick awarded to them. And just a moment to calm down. McClurg takes the ball simple out to Fraser, right back. Fraser clips the ball forward, but over Johnnie Dyer, which close wins. Ball now out in the right back position for Potters Bar. Passes the ball through, but no one winning there. Fowler comes through well and wins the ball, but once again, close, having a good game at the back. Certainly lots of energy. Passes the ball out left back to Clifford. Clifford clips a long ball, but no one's up there forward, and it goes harmlessly out of play for a Slough throw. So we've played 7 minutes of the second half. It remains Potters Bar 0, Slough Town 2. We have seen quite a few chances, quite a few incidents, penalty shouts for both teams down the far left-hand end. Slough both were rejected, and also at the very end of the first half, Potters Bar thought they should have been awarded a penalty. That nothing doing there either from the referee or the linesman. But quite an entertaining game, quite good conditions, and a tribute to the groundsmen, all the staff here at Potters Bar who put the effort in to get the game on. As we are now 7.5 minutes into the second half. Ball hasn't really settled down yet this second half. There hasn't been a great deal of football played on this pitch, which is tricky for both teams. The ball bowling around in midfield with McClurg and Rumbold loving a little bit of battle, but Rumbold just lost out there, and then quite a physical challenge came in from Fraser on Sims, and now Potters Bar have a free kick over the far side, 10 yards in from halfway, which they pass square to Hutchinson. Hutchinson immediately under pressure from 2, not the greatest ball. Rumbold comes and picks his pocket, clips the ball through, tries to play the ball through to Smith, but the ball just got caught under his feet a little bit, and now there's a long ball forward which goes harmlessly out to Somerville, who picks the ball up on the right. The pitch is just having a little bit of effect. It's cutting up, but not too badly. Slough, who are playing from right to left, are defending probably what the worst half of the pitch is, with a sandy area quite close to us. But both teams seem to be adapting to conditions, but it's just not made for free-flowing football. The sun is out. The linesman just in front of me has indicated that it's that Hamdan was offside, who flicks the ball back, and Somerville's not really in any hurry, and he's bright blue to take this. Can't see any substitutes warming up for either team at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see how long they are. Very nice warm welcome here from Potters Bar. They're all very, very friendly on St David's Day as it is today. Any people listening in Wales, please send us your regards and let us know. As Somerville clips a long ball forward towards Johnnie Dyer, who collects the ball, flicks it infield, but the defenders are under no pressure. Comes back to McClurg, who tries to play the ball out to Warren Harris, but is beaten into it by Clifford, who sends a long ball through, and Akinjirin is felled under a little bit of pressure from Fowler, and the ball goes harmlessly out for a throw-in on the far side to Slough, near the edge of their 18-yard box on the far side, which Fraser's just trying to clean the ball, trying to see who's moving. It's just getting a little bit darker here. Throws the ball up to Ed Smith, who's beaten in the air. Ball drops to Potters Bar, and they're just trying to attack it through, but Jake Parsons, long ball through to the right, and it only manages to scatter the dugout on the far side as it goes straight out of play, and it will be a throw into Potters Bar. So we've played about 10 minutes of this second half now. Slough remain 2 goals to the good, and I think the next goal in this game could be crucial wherever it comes. Neither time's particularly settled down, but Slough have got a bit of presence. I think they need to up the tempo. They've come out a little bit sluggish, a little bit on their heels in this half, and Potters Bar seem to have got the message at half-time to kind of raise it and things, but they're just progressing now through a series of throw-ins down the far right-hand side, with Fraser on his ball almost in line with the Slough dugout, which is about 20 yards inside the Potters Bar defensive half. Throws the ball forward towards Warren Harris. Hasn't really been involved as much this week as he is some weeks. I don't think his pitch helps him out, or whether he's carrying any sort of a knock, but just not having his best game, I don't think, in Slough colours as of late. But the ball comes through, long clearance from Fowler, and similarly dealt with by the defenders. But now Potters Bar have the chance to attack, and the first time that Hamdan's on the right-hand side, up against Woos, just stops, holds the ball through, and plays it right to Cole. But Parsons comes across well, blocks the ball out, and it's Rumbold blocks the ball out, and it's a throw-in to Potters Bar in the right-hand corner, which the captain Harrison Barker's come up to take. Same again as Jake Parsons gets involved. Both the Parson brothers now playing on the left-hand side. Jake the further advanced, and Ryan doing a very solid job at left-back as ever, just getting about his job quietly. Ball's thrown into Cole. Cuts the ball inside into the box. Ball just held up, I believe, by Harrison. Very athletic effort looking to be done as the ball's crossed in, and it looks like Fowler might have just been caught there. Fraser was just caught there by the swinging leg, I believe, of Toby Akinjiran. But a little bit better there from Potters Bar, a little bit more hope. Some nice interplay there, some clever play on the box, and going forward look very solid. I don't think the pitch is doing them any favours, and I'm sure they'd like to be playing football rather than doing that. They haven't scored too many goals of recent times. They've only scored 1 goal in their last in their last 6, and haven't won in 9 games. So I'm sure they'd like to do that. They do have a stronger home record there, though, winning 1 in 3, but they haven't lost too many games recently. Somerville clears it, an absolute free header, friend, and another free header by Hammond, but drops to, and Ed Smith's in. Player underdrops. He's in 1-on-1, and he makes it 3-0. There was a terrible judgment of error there by the Potters Bar defenders, and the long ball assist from Woos went over the top, and Ed Smith just went through and slotted it past it through in one touch, just slotted it into the bottom right hand corner, past the on-run and Kamasari, and it is now Potters Bar 0, Slough Town 3. So Ed Smith, I'm sure, will be keen for his hat-trick. He was pulled off last week after scoring 2 goals, so let's see if he's again taken off after scoring 2 by the management. So Close misjudged that one. The ball floated over him, and Ed Smith lapped it up. The pitch just held up a little bit, and he just tucked it past the on-rushing Kamasari and made it Slough Town 3rd goal. So we are now about 13 minutes into the second half. Slough Town, I'm sure, will be breathing a little bit easier now, having got the 3rd. And once again, we're just waiting for Potters Bar to get the game underway. For some reason, Rick Bloy is just holding it up slightly. Not quite sure what's going on, whether there's a substitute being made. Nope. Mr. Bloy gets the ball underway. Back to Sims. Sims drives the ball to the far left-hand corner, but Fowler raises well, flicks the ball up. Clerg wins it, passes the ball up to a good ball up to Dyer. Dyer hooks the ball up towards Ed Smith, and Close again, solid defensive work this time. It was the only blemish, and unfortunately it's resulted in a goal. He'd been having quite a strong game, but cleared it left-footed, so it's Slough thrown on the far side. Slough lead 3-0. 13 minutes gone in the second half, and we're just waiting to see if there's any changes from either bench at the moment. There doesn't seem to be. So I think the referee is just trying to get Slough to hurry things up, but they're looking for balls. Trent, who's actually managed to stay on his feet today after his hysterical... Oh, he's sitting down now. Oh, he did sit down. The chair didn't break. He managed to stay on his feet as the ball's passed into Fraser. Rumbold, edge of the box, clips the ball towards deep, goes over Warren Harris's head, comes out to Jake Parsons. Parsons, left edge Smith, left edge of the box, out to Parsons. Parsons in the edge of the box, but does himself. And Friend tries to clear it, drives it against his old player. There's an attempted overhead kick. Back to McClurg. Clips the ball out right. Fraser on his bike. Under close attention from Clifford. Clifford doesn't get there though. Rumbold has the ball back. Warren Harris, edge of the box, clips the ball across. Johnnie Dyer, acrobatic effort, but drifts wide of the goal, and it remains 3-0. Almost 15 minutes now gone in the second half. Score remains Potters Bar 0, Slough Town 3, with Ed Smith getting 2, 1 in either half, and the other one being got by a filthy Johnnie Dyer. Filthy in the colour of his amber shirt, is now covered in mud. Not able to wear their MyFC purple away shirts, which many people find quite attractive because of the potential clash with the home side's maroon tops. Ball is out on the far side for a Potters Bar throw on halfway, which Clifford will take. And they still, you've got to give them heart, they're still cracking on and trying to play football at the moment. Slough's biggest victory so far this season has been 4 goals, so I'm not sure whether that will be tested today or stretched. And they've won their last 5 in a row, and that's their best record to date. As a ball's hooked forward by McClurg on the right, and Smith's under close attention from Close, but Close wins the ball back well, and then puts the ball out on the halfway line for a throw to Slough. Just need to ensure that Slough keep the intensity now. There's a tendency that they could get too comfy, they could drop it off, but everyone looks pretty happy as Fraser throws the ball forward and Close comes out of defence and knees the ball forward. Fowler heads the ball back with interest, but it's at Close's feet, who puts a long ball in, but there's absolutely no one there. It's a hopeless ball, and it just goes harmlessly out for a throw into Slough in the right corner. I'm not sure if the management at Potters Bar, I think, need to make some changes here, and it looks like the numbers are being prepared, so there's going to be a change shortly, hopefully to see if they can get themselves back into this game. It remains Potters Bar 0, Slough Town 3. Long throw, flicked on by Johnnie Dyer. Warren Harris underneath it, and Ed Smith. There was a little bit of a breakdown in communication, and Friend doing very well again, just turning in front of the box and does well, gets himself out of trouble, and then just wins a throw off McLeod. That was a very well played, nice, neat footwork there, and it remains a throw on to Potters Bar on the far side. Clifford drives the ball down the line. Fowler after it, and Fowler just clips the ball up, flicked on by Warren Harris. Close comes out and defends that well. It's a little bit bitty here with Slough just not able to really play football, resulting to long balls. And Ed Smith's in again here, but out comes the keeper quickly and puts the ball out for a throw into Slough on the far left-hand side as a ball was launched forward, and Ed Smith was after it on his bike, hungry for his hat-trick, but no doing there. Lots of play on the far side at the moment as Slough in the ascendancy in terms of the ball. Potters Bar don't seem to be able to get out or make much of the ball, as the ball's in the far right-hand corner with Harris under pressure from Clifford, but Clifford reacts well, comes back, wins the challenge, and it's now a corner to Slough. Slough bench still seems fairly fixed over the far side. There just seems to be someone stripping off there. It might look like Adam Cornell or Darren Wheeler from here. Oh, it's Scott Harris I'm being mouthed, actually. My 20/20 vision's gone now. I'm having to result on other things. We'll have to see when the number comes out. But it's a corner now on the far side. Warren Harris, free header, and Johnnie Dyer manages to 2 yards out. He punches the air in frustration. Fowler has a free header on the far side, heads it out to Johnnie Dyer, who's 4 or 5 yards out, and it just goes. And it is Adam Cornell. I was right, and I'm just getting false information from my sources, who shall remain nameless, but might be involved with Rachel. So Rachel, can you not let them come anywhere near me again? As there's the first substitution for Slough Town, and off is coming Johnnie Dyer, the goal scorer, and on is coming, it looks like, the number 16, Adam Cornell. And I'm just waiting to see what the changes are for Potters Bar, but they're making a double substitution, so this is going to confuse me, as we've played 18 minutes of the second half. So Johnnie Dyer did a decent shift there, and Cornell comes on to try and carry on his goal-scoring form. He'll slot in straight up front, and Fabian Sims is coming off, who's been one of the better players for Potters Bar. There must be some injury with him, and he's been replaced by Frankie Lane, I understand. So Sims is coming off for Lane for Potters Bar, and it looks also like Akinjirin might be being pulled, but we're not sure. Okay, sorry, no, it's not Akinjirin, it is Delgado, and Delgado is being replaced by Ewington. So we have Ewington on and Lane on, and we have Fabian Sims and Delgado off.
Slough, replacing number 7 Johnnie Dyer is number 16 Adam Cordell, and Potters Bar, replacing number 11 Fernando Delgado is number 14 James Ewington, and replacing number 4 Fabian Sims is number 16 Frankie Lane.
Game just back underway. I just let the announcer there say his thing, so hopefully you heard that as well as what I said. But Slough are attacking down the far side. Rumbold, left-hand cross, just passes the back forward, and it looks as if the linesman has his flag up for some reason on the far side. Rugby is still 0-0 with Uxbridge, so that's an interesting game down there. So Valley have suddenly sparked into life and have just missed a spate of chances, so we could do with that staying as it is. So we'll have to hope that continues. But it's a free kick just cleared by Camisari. Fowler comes through a lot of players, heads up. Cornell's first touch, holds the ball up well, passes it back to McClurg under pressure. McClurg chips the ball through, and Warren Harris after, but it's rolling through to Camisari, who gathers easily. Quick clearance there, but Woos wins that in the air. Doesn't really get off the air, but ball back now in Fraser. Fraser clips the ball long from the right, and Clifford's underneath it, under pressure from what looks like Ed Smith, almost nosedives onto his face, and Slough are now going to immediately make their second change. And we are having Rumbold taking a breather, well-earned breather, old man of the match, and he's going to be replaced by George Short, by number 14 George Short, who's anything but short. So that's the second substitution. Lee Rumbold having a breathe.
Substitution for Slough, replacing number 6 Lee Rumbold is number 14 George Shaw.
And so George is getting a decent amount of time here. So we played 20 minutes now in this game. So George, who got 90 minutes, I believe, for Horndean in the week on Tuesday, because he hasn't had a lot of match action with McClurg and Rumbold having so much game time recently, has an opportunity now, as does Cornell, to get a good 20-25 minutes in it. Ball down in front of me, cleared up to Cornell. Cornell with friend right at his back. A lot of pressure on him and wins the ball there, but that's another good back. Parsons takes a quick throw, and Smith's down the left, cuts him free, close attention as he were, and coming back towards, but skip it after. George Short picks up the ball, looks for a long crossfield ball to Harris. Harris, unfortunately, just the ball deserved better touch as Warren Harris just took a touch, but unfortunately went out for a goal kick. But that was a great piece of vision by George Short and a great delivery, but just poor execution from Harris on controlling it. So it'll be interesting to see how George copes on this pitch, because Short prefers playing on a nicely manicured pitch. He likes getting the ball down and playing, has great vision. Parsons wins the ball well, heads it right to Warren Harris, back to Fraser, and Fraser just wins a free kick on the far side. And it's now going to be a throw to Slough. So Slough have made 2 changes, and so Cornell was replaced by Johnnie Dyer, the goal scorer, and he's involved. And Warren Harris is there, and the ball played through just a little bit heavy by Harris, who was in the centre of the pitch, just played through with his left foot, trying to play Ed Smith in, and it goes through to the keeper. Keeper now standing over it. There's not quite so much urgency here now from Potters Bar. I'm not sure whether they're getting tired. The pitch is quite heavy, but he's rolled the ball out to himself, the keeper, and he's come out to the right back position. And he's looking to see where he places the ball. And he just chips a nice ball forward, but George Short wins comfortably in the air. Ryan Parsons flicks it on, and Ed Smith flicks it on for a third time. And Close just comes out and just sticks the ball out straight in front of us. And his accuracy slightly let him down in the last 5 to 10 minutes. Hope you're still all listening wherever you may be all over the world. And there's now the final change. So Jake Parsons taking a well-earned breather. We have played 22 minutes of the second half, and on is coming Darren Wheeler.
Jake Parsons is number 15, Darren Wheeler.
So Jake taking a well-earned break there. So now it's a lot easier for the commentator. There's no more longer 2 Parsons on the pitch, which always is a bit more interesting. So Darren Wheeler has the opportunity to stretch his legs and try and command back a first-team place, which he's lost for the last couple of games. Cornell now battling hard with Cole, almost immediately in front of me, and the free kick's awarded to Potters Bar, which Friend's now looking to take quickly. Friend stood over the ball on halfway. Not a lot of movement and action going on there, so still hasn't taken it. Plays the ball low down the left-hand side to one of the substitutes. Cornell wins the ball back, and Frankie Lane is adjudged to have handled the ball, so it's a free kick in front of us. And Ryan Parsons puts the ball down for Darren Wheeler. Wheeler steps over the ball, leaves it to Somerville. So Somerville almost immediately in front of us, 15 yards inside the Potters Bar, inside the Slough half, looking to drive the ball forward. Darren Wheeler just hanging on the left. Warren Smith out wide to the right. Clipped up towards George Short. George Short in the air, beaten to it by Friend, and hooked out for a Slough throw on the left-hand side by Harrison Barker, who hasn't really put a foot wrong so far this game. Ball thrown inside to Short, who collects the ball well. Back to McClurg. Parsons battling now for the ball. That's Ryan Parsons, the only Parsons left on the pitch. Out left now, Darren Wheeler just holding the ball up. Tries to play a complicated ball through. Clips it off one of the Potters Bar's defenders. And they've cleared it up long, but Fowler's coming a long way. Acrobatic clearance. Flick through into the box by Warren Harris, and there's all sorts of confusion as Ed Smith seemed to push close into the goalkeeper, but I don't think there's any love lost between those two. I'm not sure they'll be sending each other Christmas cards as the ball's thrown out to Clifford, and Clifford's attacking down the right, but Warren Harris is tight in pursuit, and Jamie McClure comes and supports him well, and the referee has given, I'm not sure whether that's a throw-in or a free kick, we'll tell in a moment, but it's Slough's ball. I think it may be a throw-in, it may have gone out to Fraser, and there's certainly some shouting from behind the goal about the linesman. The Slough fans are certainly making their voices heard. Ball thrown up towards Cornell. Cornell just seems to pulled up there slightly. A little bit of a worry there. Hopefully he's not injured. Ball cleared high and long to Ryan Parsons, who's clips the ball forward. Wheeler in a little bit of space on halfway. Exciting play. Clips the ball forward towards Cornell, but asks a little bit too much. I'm surprised Wheeler didn't take the ball on himself there. But ball out right by McClurg. Flicks over. McClurg now in on goal. Takes a shot. Saved well by Ackenbar, but the ball was out, and Smith just can't force the rebound in. As a great save there by Kamura from McClurg, who hit the target, but it got smothered by his feet. So Slough putting them under all sorts of pressure here. But Potters Bar are getting some players forward. But once again, Fowler, who's been immense, heads the ball away easily. And then Parsons clears it up the line. Cornell beaten to it, but Harrison Barker, the captain for Potters Bar, picks it up. And now, substitute in midfield, tries to clip a ball long. Comes into, I think it's Hutchinson on the ball, in midfield, under attention from Short. Clips the ball out right to Harrison Barker. Wheeler in attention and Parsons. Quite tight out there. Can't really see what's going on. There's a post in the way. Clips the ball forward, but Woos comes across. Passes the ball short to Parsons. Parsons cuts the ball inside. The lack of touch gives us opportunity to Cornell. Cornell back to Wheeler. Wheeler inside to McClurg. Nice little football here for Slough. And Cornell's step over. Just Friend read it very, very well. And didn't win. But Potters Bar are coming back into it a little bit. They're committing some players forward. A wild swing there by Fowler, and it sliced the clearance there, and it went out to the right to where James Ewington tried to collect it, but his cross got blocked, and Fraser cleared away, so it's a throw-in on the far side to Potters Bar. Takes it short. And the result is that it's gone out again. Clifford with a throw-in. Takes it inside to Toby Akajirin on the far left. Plays a 1-2, edge of the box, trying to pull up the trigger, but just overruns it. But it's come out to the left-hand side of the box. Still got the ball. Playing a few tricks, but doesn't get the better of Fraser. Wheeler now in the far left-hand corner. Just clips a little ball, but unfortunately it goes out. It looked like Akinjurin ran across the whole edge of the box, was going to pull the trigger, but never quite got round to it. Potters Bar have come into it in the last 5 minutes or so. They're pushing Slough back, where the Slough have taken the goal, but Fraser does well, heads the ball back to Somerville, and I think this might be one of his first few touches of this second half. 28 minutes gone in the second half. It remains Potters Bar 0, Slough Town 3, Ed Smith with 2 of the goals, and Johnnie Dyer, who's now taken a breather, with the other. Potters Bar in the last 5 or 10 minutes seem to have just come back into a bit more, playing a bit more football. The substitutes have made an impact, some fresh legs on this heavy pitch. But the ball is out on the far side for a Slough throw, 20 yards inside the Potters Bar half, and played inside to Short. Fraser has it back, ball at his feet, tries to beat past Clifford, but Clifford now under pressure from Harris. Harris just nicks it off him. Balls with Ed Smith, gives it back to Harris, bobbling around the area. McClurg, far right hand side of the box, coming away from goal, pass it out right to Ed Smith, who finds himself against the line, up against Clifford, tries to deliver a cross in. Good sliding challenge by Close, who just managed to concede the throw in again, and once again it's on the far left hand side. Fraser with the ball in his hand, throws the ball to Ed Smith. Ed Smith gives it him back in the far corner. Goes across, it's got deflected, and it will be a corner to Slough, which I'm sure Darren Wheeler will now take, being probably the number one choice. We've had 28 minutes gone in the second half. It remains that we are winning 3-0 here, and the game's going reasonably well. Can't really ask for so many more. In some of the other games, we have some scores of St Ives 1, Northwood 5. So Northwood are really hammering in down to St Ives, Slough's opponents next Saturday. So let's hope that that's an omen for us. But Wheeler standing over the ball, delivers a low one to Warren Harris in the box, stands on the ball, takes a shot, and straight into the arms of Kamura Sai. Either side of him, and you feel it must have been a goal, but early kick out to Handan, and Handan back close now on the ball. Sorry, not close. Penny on the ball. But now Friend back out to Penny, and Penny takes a touch inside his own half. Friend, 5 yards inside his own half, clips a long ball forward. Sean Fraser underneath it. Sean Fraser clips it through. Ryan Parsons in front of me, clips a long ball forward. Ed Smith holds it up. Nice back touch back to Wheeler. First time volley pass towards Cornell, but doesn't quite hit the target and goes through to Kamura. So quite an open game now. I think the pitch is going to start to tell on the players' legs now. It's very heavy as the ball's driven down to the left-hand corner. And Penny on the ball in the 8, running through the bad area to Hutchinson. Hutchinson 20 yards out, left foot shot, and Somerville's first meaningful save of the whole game comes half an hour into the second half, where there's a shot on target. There's much celebration for a shot on target here. Half an hour into the second half, with Somerville pulling through a reasonably quite safe, but it was nice football there from Potters Bar and did good use of the ball, and just pity he hadn't done it a bit earlier. But Close now, his game's not getting any better for him, unfortunately. He's sliced the ball out now for a throw into Slough on the far side, which Fraser will take. John Underwood just flicks the ball up. I thought he told me he wasn't going to kick many balls today, because John Unders, if none of you do know, is doing the Reading half marathon tomorrow. He's been in training recently, and so we all wish him good luck. If you want to tweet him at John Unders, he'll be doing some running tomorrow. So there's another change here for Potters Bar, and off comes Penny, and Tom Laxton is coming on.
Substitution for Potters Bar, replacing number 8 Cole Penny is number 12 Tom Laxton.
Yeah, and Laxton certainly isn't bringing his height to the game. And if he's up against Short, this could be a bit of a mismatch as the throw goes through to Darren Wheeler, edge of the box, clips the ball, but it's harmlessly wide for a goal kick. Tom Laxton certainly doesn't bring much height in the middle of midfield, but there's a lot of amusement around me from the home fans as to why they brought him on at this time of the game. Goal kick though to them, and we're just seeing where this goes. George Short underneath it, but Hutchinson beats him to it, and the ball comes through. Fowler just clips the ball over to the right, and Warren Harris, plenty of space, plenty of grass in front of him, takes the ball, driving it forward. Clifford's going to come out to meet him, but Warren Harris, ball at his feet, driving down towards the corner. Clifford blocks it well, and it's a throw into Slough. That's been an even battle all afternoon. It's been quite entertaining for them. Both players playing well. Ball thrown in by Warren Harris. Takes it back from Cornell. Cornell battling on the edge of the box. I think with James Ewington over there, and Ewington passes the ball forward, but Fowler picks the ball up, and Close once again from the back clips the ball forward, and it goes straight out for a throw into Slough far side. The game's just lacking a bit of intensity now. You feel that Slough have probably taken their foot off the gas. The substitutes haven't quite settled into it, and ball gets driven all the way through, and it will roll harmlessly through to it. A fascinating score here from Rugby Town is that Uxbridge are 2-1 up at Rugby. Caballoni loses the ball in the middle of the park, and neat finish up. So Uxbridge are 2-1 up at Rugby. So that'll be fascinating if that stays like that till the end of the game. Rugby dropping points at Uxbridge. So very interesting. Meanwhile, on the pitch here at PACX, not a lot happening. Linesman's a ball went through towards Cornell, and linesman has his flag up for throw. The temperature's just dropping. I'm getting a little bit cold. I might put my coat on at some point. But we've had nearly 34 minutes of the and once again Fowler comes out very strong and wins the ball. Derision here as there's a long ball played through to Ed Smith, and the linesman again has his flag up, but they're playing advantage. Friend coming, plays the ball through, and Laxton's first real touch of the game is to try and play a ball through to Harrison Barker, but unfortunately it's overhit, out for a throw in to Slough. This left-hand side just in front of me, and it will be Parsons to take. Not a lot of movement. Wheeler moving around. Short just coming over to have a little look. Short with Laxton up against him. It's a bit of a mismatch. Short wins it in the air. Short against Shorter, as it might be. And Fowler once again flawless in defence on this tricky pitch. Really clears the ball well. Friend, who's also had a strong game. The two number 5s, both equally very good games for both their teams. As Slough attack here, and Warren Harris coming in the right, cutting in and out, got Close up against him. Just holding up for the ball, looking for a little bit of support now, but Close just nicks the ball out, and I think it might be a corner to Slough or a throw, and I think it might have just rolled out for a corner on the very far side, which Wheeler's going to make his way over to take. Still remains Potters Bar 0, Slough Town 3 at the moment. Ed Smith still searching for that elusive hat-trick. And we're just seeing how this goes. Warren Harris is going to look short, just pulls one of the defenders away. McClurg taking up position at edge of the box. Fowler's had enough. He's staying back. He's slightly holding his right knee as if he's injured. Hopefully he won't be. High aerial ball towards the far back post. Too deep for anyone. Clergy coming out towards the other corner flag. Passes the ball back to Parsons, who's made a lot of ground up. Far left-hand side of the box. Delivers the ball. Now there might be an opportunity for Potters Bar to attack as Parsons fighting to make his way back. But Ryan Parsons stood up well over the ball, just in the halfway and holding it up. McClurg got doing him. Friend is now there. Gives the ball away to Parsons. Parsons plays it into Parsons up front. Passes the ball across towards in a very dangerous position. There was 1-2 there from Parsons. Inside to Cornell. Ball dropped in the centre circle now. George Short got a little bit of time. Turns out, looking for a Slough player's ball. I think Potters Bar done a lot of chasing this afternoon. Starting to get a bit tired. Wheeler's picked it up, left-hand edge of the pitch. Takes on the captain and got blocked off there. And I think rightly was a free kick. I think otherwise he not worthy of a booking, but just tried to skip past him and was just blocked off enough to make a little bit of difference. So interesting to see if this free kick develops into anything. I'm just trying to have a look. Uxbridge are now 3-1 up against Rugby, so this is very good news for the Rebels, with Uxbridge leading 3-1 against Rugby, which is a fascinating result. I think if you were allowed to bet on this level of football, you would have you'd have certainly had good odds on that. As Wheeler delivers in the ball, well taken by the keeper, Kamasari. And the ball thrown out by the keeper early. And the ball on the far side now, just having touches through. And George Short sees the ball, but Fraser tries to keep it in, but it's not kept in, so it's a throw in front of the Potters Bar dugout. 20 yards inside the Slough half on the far pitch. The intensity's gone out of the game a little bit here. It's drifting, should we say. There's still chances coming. St Ives has scored a second, so it's now St Ives 2, Northwood 5. And there's poor possession left the ball. Ryan Parsons just in front of me, a little bit of time on the ball. Simple ball inside to Darren Wheeler. Man closing him down just now. Clips the ball out to the right. Ryan Parsons, not tired of running, up against the skipper, facing his own goal. Clips it back to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper clips the long ball forward, and Wheeler takes a great first touch under a little bit of pressure there. Inside to Short. Short to Woos, out to the left. Woos clips the ball through. Has Smith interested. Smith wins the ball, and it is now a throw-in to Potters Bar in the far left-hand corner, just down in their right-back position, which I think Harrison Barker will take in front of me. And we have played 37 minutes of this second half. Slough comfortably 3-0 in advance. They need it. There isn't really, it's not an unfair score. As the ball's clipped forward and Fowler comes through, no nonsense, left-foot clearance to, again, great touch. Nuts from Wheeler to Laxton, and now goes inside, has a little run, keeps on going, ball at his feet, picking up speed and tries to play the ball through, but there's no one after it apart from Harrison Barker, who clips the ball through. Bad back pass and great flick, great Cruyff turn by the keeper. We love a bit of that. There was a touch which was like, got it out of his feet well. He should be out on pitch. Wheeler finds the ball out left. One man up against him. Good challenge comes in, although I think he might have got it in a sensitive area. And then Wheeler goes jumping into a tackle there, and he's given it against Darren Wheeler. And I think is it Laxton? I think Laxton might have got it in the gentleman's area, shall we say? He's having a breathe. And we've got about 7 minutes left. That didn't look a very pretty challenge from Darren Wheeler there. And we're just going to see what the referee thinks of this. He seemed to leave his feet, but just leaves it as a free kick. And we are making our way towards the end of this game here. Friend stood over it, 10 yards inside. 10 yards inside the Potters Bar half that they're defending. Wrong 10 yards, that is. Friend clips the ball forward, Parsons underneath it, but flick on by Hamden into the corner. Woos is over there to get it under pressure. And I believe it's a Slough throw. I can't really see very much in that corner, so I'm having to have a guess, but he's gone out for a goal kick. Somerville up with it. 39 minutes played. Slough cruising to another 3 points on the road. I think both teams will be happy that they got this game on. Credit to them as the sun and the shadows gets longer here at Potters Bar. Rick Bloy still seems to be refereeing with a degree of common sense given the conditions. Somerville stepping up right of me, drives a ball into the midfield. Cornell underneath it, but Friend comes through well. Parsons adds the ball back with interest, and Harrison Barker clears the ball well, and then a nasty little tackle comes in on Parsons, but Smith in the midfield gives it back to Wheeler. Wheeler squares it to Clergy. Clergy with a man on his back chips the ball through towards Ed Smith. Ed Smith in the box passes the ball out left to Ryan Parsons. Ryan Parsons deep pull toward the far post, kind of waves at it, comes down to Clergy, who drives the ball back across goal and just inches wide, I would have thought, for a kick. That was the first time that the keeper, Kamasari, hasn't looked convincing. He kind of came out, waved at it. Clergy on the bounce, on the right-hand edge of the 18-yard box, half volley, straight across goal for a shot wide of target. Good attempt though, and we're counting down the minutes now to another 3 points for Slough, as we have 5 minutes plus injury time. Keeper's clearance up, Wheeler underneath it. It's a battle of the smalls. Ball bowling around in midfield. Clergy underneath it. Great touch to Warren Harris on the right-hand side in front of the Slough dagger. Just cuts back. Fraser with the ball at his feet. Fraser chips the ball forward to Warren Harris on the right. A little bit of space ahead of him. On the run. Tracking back. Dinks across, but there's no player underneath it. And simple defending there from Harrison Barker. Calm and controlled. Heads the ball back to the goalkeeper. So it remains Potters Bar 0, Slough 3. Long throw out from the keeper. Up to halfway line. And the ball, despite Wheeler's best efforts, rolls out for a throw into Potters Bar. I think the result's a fair result at the moment. The tempo's gone, the intensity's gone, the substitutes haven't really made that much of an impact. And Fowler barking orders right to the end. He certainly doesn't want to concede a goal at this point. Keep the clean sheet going. And ball played through to Potters Bar, deflected. And just inches wide, because there was a great... the first time Slough had really been caught out as Ewington was up against Fraser, and Fraser managed to catch him up and cut him on the edge of the box, and he tried to clip it, and there was almost like a Paul Parker kind of deflection, and Somerville was happy to watch it sail past the post for a corner to Potters Bar. So we're really in the dying stages here now. Keith is listening in Yorkshire, so let's... the posh bit, not the other bit where Mick listens from. We'll have to see if there's anyone else out there listening. As the ball's driven into the corner, Somerville flaps, touches the ball, gets clattered, collides with Fowler. Ball back now in the halfway, and Ed Smith's after it, trying to keep the ball in, but it's not. It's gone out for a throw, and I think he's cleared it out of the ground, and it's hit the flats on the far side. Potters Bar pressing now in these last few minutes in the final third of the pitch. With ball just breaking, but Fowler comes through. Fowler keeps on going, coming over onwards, and Fowler running up in front of me halfway. He's not galloping, I'd say plodding. Passes it to Wheeler. Wheeler's got acres in front of him. Is he going to attack this space? But once again, Fowler could well be my man of the match today. Wheeler whips in a great ball. Friend is equal to it and sees it out for a throw-in on the far side. But Fowler almost man of the match, having a little bit of a stretch. His knee still seems to be giving a bit of grief. So let's hope that with 2 games in this week, firstly at home to Egham and then the second game at home to St Ives. Let's hope he's not too bad, but he came through there very strong, and he's certainly having a little breathe now. I think he's feeling it a little bit, just having a stretch here inside the centre circle while we wait for the throw-in to be taken by Ryan Parsons down in the far left-hand corner. All quiet in the ground now. Thrown into Wheeler. Wheeler up against the skipper, Harrison Barker, and Harrison Barker with his left foot clears the ball in up towards Akinjirin. Akinjirin down in front of me, one-on-one against Fraser. Fraser, good battle there, but a good ball through, and rather lucky by Woos that he cut out the ball intended through from Hamdan, but still Potters Bar attacking with ball switched out to the far left. Cuts inside, pulls the trigger, and it's gone all the way across goal with Akinjirin chucking himself at the ball, but just missing out. It must have got a Slough deflection, and it's now a corner, which it looks like Ewington will take from the far right hand side. Slough just need to watch out here. They don't want to concede. They'd like to keep a clean sheet, but they're just taking their foot off the gas. They just need to watch out here because Potters Bar are not giving up. They just want to make sure that Slough realise they're taking them. Ball driven in. Cornell heads it up and free at the far post. Ball comes out, and the shot by Lane is woeful. It nearly goes out for a throw-in on the far side. Not one of their better efforts. I think that so far they've had kind of one shot on goal and one other good clear chance. But so I think the result is fair. But we are almost now we are in the 90th minute. We're almost at the end of the pitch. Somerville slowly making his way to get the ball. I think there's a lot of players out there who look fatigued from this heavy pitch and are probably looking at it. The Slough fans to the left-hand side are packing up their flags. They're ready to go home. They're ready to do it. They all look rather cold and frustrated, but I think they're about ready to do it. Somerville's still bringing the ball back. It's not exactly in a rush. Rick Bloy, everyone's the man that they're looking at just to see how many minutes we've got. I don't think I've seen him indicated. The Slough bench are starting to pack up all their goods, and this will be a good day's work for them if it stays at 3-0. Somerville clears it, short, flicks the ball forward. Cornell underneath it. Cornell turns, tries to get a flick, but again, Friend comes through, but comes back to George Short, who flicks the ball through to Ed Smith. And the linesman again on the far side is given that as an offside, so it'll be a free kick to Potters Bar as things just close out. Friend over the ball, looking to try and get on with the ball, but stepping over. Drives the ball out right. Woos is all day long. Woos flicks it down to Parsons, who'll just hook the ball up the line. Just puts the ball out for a throw into Potter's Bar down in front of us, which the captain, Harrison Barker, I'm sure will take. Throws it quickly back to Friend. Friend turns back inside, 5 yards inside his half. Left foot, long crossfield ball towards Ewington. But it's out for a throw, and then Fraser will take it immediately in front of the dugout, the home dugout. So 15 yards inside the Slough half. Fraser over the ball. There's murmurs from the home crowd that they want to go home, which I don't blame them. And there's a throw-in taken forward. It's picked up again by Hutchinson for Potter's Bar in the middle of midfield. Now Parsons closely macked in Laxton, but the misplaced pass there by the skipper, and McClurg's in down the left, but he's not in any hurry to do much with it. He's just stood up. Skipper's coming to take it. Back to Parsons. Parsons on the ball into Wheeler. Wheeler turns edge of the 18-yard box. Crosses it back to McClurg. McClurg in the box. Tries the audacious chip with the outside of the boot, but he's not going to beat someone of Camarasari's size from there. And we have played 2 minutes of injury time now. The keeper gets rid of the ball out, and Hutchinson's up with Ed Smith in close attendance. Plays the ball into the middle of the field, and Friend's advancing forward. Friend, who was centre back, clips the ball forward to left. Fowler's under pressure and heads the ball magnificently back to Somerville. I would have Fowler as my man of the match, I think, for Slough. He hasn't really put a foot wrong, been rock steady, and in what could have been a tricky day for Slough, he seems to have done quite solidly. Somerville clears the ball well. We're all still watching Mr. Bloy to see when the whistle will blow, and that's not it. That's just a free kick. Interesting to see what the other results are. I'll just keep having a little look on that and see if we can get this going. As the ball's being played around in midfield. Out left, Clifford on the ball, advancing, under pressure from short. Tries to move the ball forward. The linesman's flag belatedly goes up, and it's offside. We'll have a look at the pitch. The other scores. The game I'm particularly interested in is the one at Uxbridge, who were last when we heard 3-1 up at home to Rugby, but we haven't had any more news recently. I'm just trying to have a look at that. As there's the free kick for the offside decision, which Somerville's in no rush to take. Come on, Mr. Bloy. It's time we all went home. He's got his hand up for a direct free kick. And he's being so pedantic that he's saying, can you move the ball back a yard because it's not in line? There's a great degree of cynical murmuring, shall we say, from both locals and travellers alike, as Somerville, 10 yards outside his box on the right-hand side, clears the ball long in the direction of Harris, flicked on by Cornell, Harris after it. But once again, the stand Clifford there's, and that is it. We have a final result here of Slough Town winning 3-0, and we're very happy. Good day's work. I'm not just going to sign off.
Potter's Bar 10, Slough Town 3. Thank you for your attendance and have a safe journey home. And I'll just say a very big thank you to the ground staff here for getting the pitch playable today.
Rebel Ramble, who's asked who was the third Potter's Bar substitution. You've really got me there. I think the substitutions were Delgado and Lane. Laxton came on, who was very short, and I believe he came on for Delgado. Yes, I'm pretty sure it was Delgado. So apologies that I didn't mention that. Do we know, gents, who was the third sub? Who did Laxton come on for? Was it Delgado? Okay, Cole Penny, sorry. Okay, so it was, Laxton replaced Cole Penny. So we're just interested to see the rest of the results as the Slough players make their way off, just in front of me, and we'll see what's going on. Lots of celebrations, lots of people very happy, and we'll have to see Johnnie Dyer very happy, Fraser very happy, and a job well done as Underwood and Baker just make it. So, yeah, it's interesting. The Slough fans start to make their way in front of me as just a few words going on as the rest of the Rebels fans make their ways in front of me as the referee comes off the pitch. So a good 3 points there. Full-time St Ives 4, Northwood 5. An amazing game there. 9 goals. St Ives 4, Northwood 5. What a fantastic game that must have been. I'm just still waiting to see if the rugby final score was that Uxbridge were winning 3-1 against Rugby. So we're just going to see if that comes through as the players made their way off. People start to dismantle the PA system around me. I think I might get locked in at this rate. But it's been a very warm welcome. They've done very well to get this pitch on. The Potters Bar team are still just out on the pitch having a final warm down. A really great game there, though, it sounds like, at Northwood, with St Ives 4, Northwood 5 as the result of the day. We'll just see if there's any other news on that score finally. But yeah, a very comprehensive victory here with Ed Smith scoring a goal in each half and Johnnie Dyer scoring one of the goals. And the Slough fans coming past, showing their appreciation. So, Rugby were 3-1 down. Is it finished? Do we know? Royston 2, Ashford 2, final. So Royston have dropped points. Oh, Beaconsfield lost as well. So this is a very interesting game. But Rugby were 3-1 down against Aylesbury. Do we know it's final? Uxbridge. So this could be a great day for the Rebels here, with lots of the other results going our way. Interesting to hear what the Dunstable-Barton game score final is. But Royston drew at Ashford. That's a really good result. Beaconsfield lost at home. Uxbridge beat Rugby 3-1. So it's all going off today, really, in this playoff chase. It might have thrown it a little bit more wide open. So it's made it a really important 3 points for Slough, with Rugby losing and Beaconsfield losing and Royston only drawing. So we'll have to see how things go from here on, as the players are still just out on the pitch. And I will sign off now. I wish you all well, and I will speak to you on Tuesday night. Back in action, Slough are at home to Egham, who won't have played for a while. Their game was off today because of the water situation that I think they still have, unfortunately for them, so they may be a bit ring rusty. It's a good time to play them. And then we are at home again next Saturday to St Ives, so please make your way down there. Come and cheer on the Rebels. See the quality of the football game for yourself, and we'll all be good and well. But thank you very much. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Do you want to say anything before you say goodbye? I will ask Johnnie Dyer if he will bring the rest of your pitch back. But thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of St David's Day, and I'll speak to you all later.